Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more WWE 2k17 Universe Mode. My name is BrendenPlayz, and welcome to another episode of NXT, the final episode before NXT Takeover number 5. Well, tonight we have a big show in store for you, but let's get into our earlier matchups. As we have a 6-man tag team match. Bobby Roode teams up with Sanity's Eric Young and Killian Dane. They come up against Ty Dillinger, Roderick Strong, and Cassius Ohno, the 3-man who will take on Roode in that fatal 4-way match at TakeOver number 5. Big matchup there to kick things off here on NXT this week. We also have another big matchup here as Nia Jax. Well, she's lost a couple of matches as of late. Can she turn things around against Liv Morgan? Peyton Royce up against Nikki Cross. And we check in with our number 1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, Pete Dunne, as he takes on Rich Swan one-on-one. Should be a good contest there between two of our best Cruiserweights. And we also check in with the number 1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships. It is DIY up against Blake and Murphy. We'll see if DIY can get some momentum heading in towards their title match. Roode and Sanity, they get a win on the 6-man tag. Jax versus Liv Morgan. It's going to be, wow! There you go, Liv Morgan beats Nia Jax, and Nia Jax just can't seem to get the wins lately. She's just struggling. And Peyton versus Nikki Cross, it is going to be, well, Nikki Cross gets the win. Cruiserweight action now. Alright, time for our Cruiserweight matchup as Pete Dunne, our number 1 contender, is up against Rich Swan here. So Pete Dunne, well, he's done enough to get himself in contention for the championship, and he deserves to be here. He's known as the Cruiserweight, and we've been very impressed with what we've seen from him. We saw Grand Metalik. He impressed us on the last episode of NXT. Now it's time for Pete Dunne to showcase what he can do. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's ready for Grand Metalik at TakeOver. But Grand Metalik, don't discount him. He has been very, very good. In fact, there's no doubt in my mind that he is the number 1 Cruiserweight at this point in time. But he's yet to take on Pete Dunne. So that's when things will get tough for Grand Metalik. Well, Pete Dunne has a tough opponent here tonight, Rich Swan, a man who has got himself very close to becoming a contender for the Cruiserweight Championship in his own right. Rich Swan, big opportunity for him here tonight. He beats Pete Dunne. Well, who knows? He might just be catapulted straight into the championship scene for the next TakeOver. You never know. So big opportunities could be coming Rich Swan's way. So big chance here tonight to take on Pete Dunne. A win, like I said, will do wonders for him, and a win tonight will also give Grand Metalik perhaps a bit of a confidence boost as well, knowing that he got a win last week, and, well, Pete Dunne losing will just kind of knock him back a peg a little bit, because Pete Dunne, well, he's been getting in the face of everyone over the last couple of weeks, or last couple of months I should say. Since he arrived on the scene, he's not been afraid to get in the face of Grand Metalik and any other opponent and challenger. Oh, speaking of Grand Metalik, here's the champ! Grand Metalik coming out here to perhaps to scout this one out, give a bit of a closer look at his opponent. Pete Dunne, just days away from NXT Takeover, and NXT Takeover will be on BrendenPlayz over the weekend. Unfortunately, it won't be live this time. Normally we do a live show, but of course, as it is currently WrestleMania weekend in the real world, we decided to just upload it as a regular video, so you guys can, well, don't feel the need of catching it live. And as Pete Dunne jumps over the top of the rope, so I want to give you guys a bit of a break, and we'll just upload it straight on the channel, and you can watch it whenever you have the spare time. So right now, Rich Swan, oh, what about that there from Swan, takes over Pete Dunne over the top of his head. Nicely executed there by Swan. Swan now, oh no, Pete Dunne with a counter, gets the arm into the shoulder. So what we're probably seeing here from Pete Dunne over the last number of weeks is Swan with a Hurricane Rana. You won't see too much of that, what you just saw there. Too much high-flying action. It seems as though he's keeping it in the ring. He does have a few high-flying maneuvers up his sleeve if need be, but for the most part, he's looking just to ground and pound and beat you down inside of the middle of the ring, and I have to say that's probably not a bad idea. With a lot of cruiserweights in this division flying around, trying to utilize that style, Pete Dunne coming in, doing something a little bit different, may just be the key for him to get that Cruiserweight Championship. It may just be a little difficult for the other Cruiserweights to get the better of him as Swan with a splash, springing off the top of the rope. And I think this is a perfect warm-up matchup for Pete Dunne for TakeOver, because Rich Swan, just like Grand Metalik, will fly. He'll go around the ring, perhaps not, you know, we won't see Grand Metalik dancing whilst he's doing it and do it with such style like Rich Swan, but he certainly will fly around the ring like Grand Metalik. As a right hand there by Dunne, and went for the moonsault, missed though, and there you go. So Pete Dunne, whilst we don't see it as much as we do with the other cruiserweights, he certainly can still fly, and attempted a moonsault there, but he missed out. He attempted Insiguri as well. As Swan is in a, he's a bad way, in a real bad way. There's a pile driver there from Pete Dunne, driving Swan's head straight into the mat. And that could be it there for Rich Swan. That pile driver head first. Is he out cold? Here's the cover. Could be it here. Pete Dunne. No. Thought he was going to make quick work of Rich Swan, but he kicks out comfortably. Early days in this one yet, as Rich Swan still hanging on here, and he's a great competitor, Rich Swan. No doubt in my mind that he will be a Cruiserweight champ at some point in time, but he just, I think, needs a few big wins to get him on track. He's missed out a couple of times. Beautiful uppercut there by Pete Dunne as he had him up on top of his head. That's the power display there of Pete Dunne as well. Just makes the 205 cut. He's at the highest possible weight, 205. And because of that, I think he has that extra strength and power that some of the other cruiserweights do not have. It might just mean he's not as light on his feet, can't move as fast, doesn't have the quickness and speed as some of the other cruiserweights, which is what Grand Metalik will be able to utilize to his full advantage come TakeOver. That's why Pete Dunne will want to do what he's doing here. Keep his opponent down and just try and beat him down in the ring. Don't try and match them with speed, because he won't be able to. Pete Dunne now drives Rich Swan head first, and that's got to be it. Rich Swan in big trouble. But hey, Grand Metalik, well, what's he doing? Grand Metalik getting himself involved. Well, that's not right. Pete Dunne about to win this one as he flies over the top. Pete Dunne about to win, but Grand Metalik giving a bit of a helping hand to Rich Swan. I'm not sure if I agree with that one. As now Dunne, no! I thought he was going to go for the power, but instead he surprised me. He surprised me and dropped Swan face first. I thought Rich Swan was about to get the counter. But Pete Dunne, well, he had a plan up his sleeve regardless, and that's great execution there by the #1 contender. Now he just drives the knee into Rich Swan. So Pete Dunne, he had this match won. Grand Metalik wants to see him in that ring for as long as he possibly can. You can't blame him. Single leg takedown, spinning him off his feet right there. Metalik would love to see Pete Dunne just not be at 100% if possible heading in towards the TakeOver matchup. As now Rich Swan, well, what's he got planned here? Going for a suplex, and now instead drives him head first. Wow! What about that from Rich Swan? That could be it here. Has Swan done enough to beat the #1 contender? No, the shoulder is up. And that was very close to being 3. If not, it was 3. Late call there by referee. They say it was just 2, and well, thank goodness for Pete Dunne, because that looked nasty. Rich Swan now firing himself up here. Ducks underneath, and oh wow, what a kick right to the face of Pete Dunne. And Rich Swan is firing himself up. He's showing his dance moves. I don't think they're that great, but you know, they'll do. As now he's looking to fly over the top of the rope. This might be looking a little better. As there, wow! Flipping through the air, splashes down on Pete Dunne, and now Swan about to give it one more shot here. About to try and put the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight title away one more time. Head first, driving him into the mat with that pile driver, and now Swan to beat Dunne here. The cover, but no, a kick out again. Pete Dunne kicking out one more time, and Rich Swan cannot believe it. We've seen a lot of pile driving maneuvers here, something we don't see too often, but they're bringing out all the stops here, understanding that this is a big match for both men. Dunne wants the win to have the confidence and momentum and perhaps make Metalik doubt himself. Rich Swan wants the win to get himself back in the title picture in the near future. Went for a full Nelson, can't get it as Rich Swan able to counter, and now Swan jumps up and connects right there with the boot on the chin of Pete Dunne once again. Excellent there from Rich Swan, who's looking the goods, I got to say. He might just upset Pete Dunne here. He's been on a roll, Dunne, but he's got to be careful. Rich Swan is firing himself up here and looking very good. If he can get himself in position here as he wants to go to the corner, he's lining up Pete Dunne. Perhaps he feels as though Dunne's not right in the right position. Playing a bit of possum there, perhaps Dunne, as now he's got Swan up. There's the power of Pete Dunne, utilizing his extra weight and some of that power game, and another uppercut. And wants to put Swan away. A late cover, this could be it. Rich Swan, though, gets to the rope. And Pete Dunne, well, he can't believe it. He thought he had him beat, but Swan was too close to the ropes. And now, Pete Dunne, he's not done yet. No pun intended, but he's about to put him away. Here we go. Here he goes. Drives him head first. It's over now. Pete Dunne has just finished off Rich Swan here on NXT tonight. Great victory there by the #1 contender. And Grand Metalik, get ready, because you will be facing a man in great form. He is unstoppable. He's been beating everyone. He's red hot right now. He's at his absolute best. And Grand Metalik will be in for the fight of his life come Takeover number 5. What a win here tonight for Dunne. Is now, hang on, Metalik's getting in the ring, and these two face to face just before Takeover. Well, we get a chance to take a look at our #1 contenders for the tag team titles here, as we also see Blake and Murphy back in action. It's been a while since we've seen them on NXT, where they get themselves a chance to be a part of the show here tonight as they compete against DIY. Blake and Murphy, a good tag team, of course, and just haven't quite had their opportunities as of yet to really prove themselves on the big stage, but a big chance here tonight up against DIY, an opportunity for them to showcase that they are ready to get themselves back in title contention. So we'll see how they go in this one, as DIY, former tag team champions here in NXT, now looking to regain the titles after losing them to the Authors of Pain at Takeover number 4. And we'll see if they have learned from their mistakes. We'll see if they're ready to take on the Authors of Pain this time. And we'll see if they can defeat the two, well, monsters, aren't they? The Authors of Pain. Two guys who are big, they're tough, and they have the mastermind behind it all in Paul Ellering. It's so difficult right now for DIY to even come close to beating the Authors of Pain, because I just feel like they're a well-oiled machine. They just know what they need to do. They've got a game plan, and they have the ability to back up. I don't know. Look, DIY are a great team. They've got a lot of heart. They've got a lot of passion, and they want to be champions more than anything in this world. When I look at the Authors of Pain, I mean, they're just so dominant, so destructive. It's hard to really look past them. But hey, we get a chance at DIY here tonight. We get a chance to see how they're going and how it looks to... Oh, whoa, hang on. Well, Paul Ellering. We saw Metalik take a closer look earlier on. We're going to see Ellering, the Authors of Pain, their manager, coming out to take a bit of a closer look on DIY. So he'll scout him out in this one, as he'll stand next to Blake and Murphy. He'll stand in that corner. There's Blake right now, Wesley Blake right in the ring, coming up against Tommaso Ciampa. As Tommaso with a front face lock hits the elbow to follow it up as well. He's going to be taken into the corner here by Blake. And now attempted right hand gets met with a big boot there. And now the back rake there by Ciampa. So Paul Ellering, I mean, we've seen him before scout out DIY in some of the competition. We've seen that as a great powerbomb. Wow. Great stuff there from Blake, as now Murphy will enter in, the Australian, of course. So this is a big chance here, you know, for DIY. You got Paul Ellering out here. This is an opportunity to kind of impress Paul Ellering and just perhaps make them a little nervous, because quite similar to what we saw with, you know, Pete Dunne and Grand Metalik. You know, Metalik's been on a roll, Pete Dunne's been on a roll. You know, if you see someone make a mistake or slip up, you get a chance to, you know, use that to your advantage. And Paul Ellering would love to see DIY make a mistake and perhaps lose this one. And that will just give the Authors of Pain so much confidence. But if DIY, they win, and they win well, they will definitely, you know, they may not show it, but the Authors of Pain will be worried. They will be worried about DIY and their ability to, in this tag team ring, to win these titles back, because the Authors of Pain are still a very new team. They haven't got everything down packed yet. Whilst they've been so dominant and so destructive, there is weaknesses to their game, and DIY need to try and find a way to exploit it. And DIY, they've got weaknesses themselves. They're out-muscled, they're out-powered, in their first encounter. So they need to find a way to, rectify that themselves. So both teams have got something to really prove here. And we'll see the takeover take place. Right now, DIY looking to showcase that they are ready to go here, as they're in a good position here against Blake. As now Gargano, as he's going to put the pressure on Blake, even try and make him tap out here. As he's got those legs wrapped, as now the back's in a bad way, but he gets shrugged off there. So Blake will be getting back to his feet in a moment's time. Front face lock now by Gargano. He's going to take him down with the snapmare takedown, and now whips the neck back and forth right there. Going to go up top as well. What's he got planned now? Gargano's going to fly! Hits the elbow right on the chest of Blake. Good stuff here by DIY thus far. And you've got to be confident if you're DIY. You keep this up, you showcase this, and you perform like this against the Authors of Pain at TakeOver 5. You'll have to be very, very confident that you can pick up the victory. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, at TakeOver 5 as well, we will see the women in action. It'll be Asuka going one-on-one with Nia Jax, and that'll be for the NXT Women's Championship. And as we saw, of course, the Cruiserweight Championship match between Dunne and Metalik. And, of course, our main event match, Fatal 4-Way action. It'll be Bobby Roode, Roderick Strong, Ty Dillinger, and Cassius Ohno for the absolute best in NXT, battling it out to become the NXT champion. And that's your main event of TakeOver number 5. One of our biggest main events to date, you'd have to say. A huge, huge matchup right there. But as well as that, we will also have another matchup up on the card, because as we know, free agents are a big deal here on Universe Mod. Well, NXT will have 2 free agents battle it out. It's been a bit of a tradition we've seen here on Takeovers, where 2 free agents battle it out, and the winner, well, hey, they'll earn themselves a contract. So we will see 2 wrestlers that we haven't seen here on NXT, or have not got themselves a contract at all here in the WWE. They'll get themselves an opportunity to be a part of NXT Takeover, and potentially one of them will earn themselves a contract. There's a nice brainbuster there by Ciampa. So who will show up at TakeOver? Well, that remains to be seen, but there will be a couple of surprises there in that matchup. So if you have a prediction or you have a suggestion, let me know in the comments. Leg sweep there by Gargano, as he's now back in the matchup, looking to remain in control. But Murphy's trying to get himself back to his feet. Well, Blake and Murphy, I mean, the thing is, they've had some losses. They haven't had the wins they would have liked. Tempted German suplex. He's back on his feet, though. As now step suplex by Gargano. Look, they haven't had the wins they would have liked, Blake and Murphy, and they just need some confidence. That's all it is now the super kick right on the button. Murphy could be out cold here. But hey, Paul Ellering's having a chat to the referee. Perhaps discussing some tactics rather, just before TakeOver. The referee, we all know he gets distracted by anything that's in the crowd, but Paul Ellering having a chat with him. And that's probably cost DIY a chance to win this one. There's a kick right to the chest of Gargano. That could be it here. Murphy in control. Perhaps wants to get Blake in, get the fresher man in. And no, headbutt there by Gargano. He's not going to be able to do it. And now the spinning forearm lands it right on the chin and the jaw region of Murphy. Could be it here. There's now a kick out. Well, Blake and Murphy, potential, they certainly have it. And they're showing us right now that they should be featured a little bit more. More matches, more opportunities for them. They're going okay so far. Giving DIY a real test here. A bit of luck has gone their way, of course, of Ellering, but you need a bit of luck in this world. As now, what about this combination here? Whipping the neck back and forth, and then the big kick to follow it up. Blake back in the ring. And DIY, all of a sudden, are in some trouble. Ever since that Ellering distraction, DIY just haven't looked as though, they're just looking a little badly here, because Blake and Murphy back in control. And they need to kind of dig themselves out of this hole here. Gargano's trying to do so. He's got Blake in that corner there. What has he got planned now? Picks him up, and oh, look out, he's going to drive him. Wow, spikes their head into the second turnbuckle pad. Well, bit of like a javelin right there, just throwing him, or a dart, just launching him right into the turnbuckle. Incredible stuff there. Like, trying to get back to his feet, and now met with a bulldog. Chance here for Gargano to tag out if he wants to. Instead goes for the cover. Could be it here. Trouble now for Blake and Murphy, but a kick out. Blake will kick out and keep this one alive as now attempted kick misses out and hang on. Oh no. Just everything that Blake and Murphy are trying, it's being met with a counter here. And that's going to frustrate them now as the backbreaker. Now wrenching the back of Gargano on that knee, driving it into his back as well. You have to be frustrated right now if you're Blake and Murphy. They just haven't been able to hit that big move to put the pressure back on DIY. Blake now up top. What's he got planned? Oh no! He got caught! And now we're going to see a crossface, but it's not going to happen. Too close to the ropes. But Gargano, what he's done is he's created a moment of separation and a chance to get the tag and get his partner, Tommaso Ciampa, back in this matchup. Probably not the best idea though, as Blake's got himself a chance here. In a small window of opportunity, can he capitalize? Ciampa now in the corner. Blake now. Oh, hang on. What are we seeing here? Blake's got him up, drives him head first, and now Blake with a splash! Frog splash off the top! Blake and Murphy with a huge upset! It's gonna happen, is it? No! Gargano! He didn't quite get there, but Ciampa kicked out regardless. Blake just stopped Gargano from getting there, but Ciampa had enough left in the tank to kick out and keep it alive. Wow, I thought Blake and Murphy were going to do it with that move off the top. Big frog splash. They could have upset the #1 contenders and catapulted themselves back in the title picture. That's where they want to be. They haven't been there for a while. And a win here tonight would have put them straight back in there. Well, they have unfortunately missed out. And now taken down goes Ciampa. Cover now. Murphy, can he get him? No, a kick out. It's close though. It's close between the two. All of a sudden, the last couple of minutes, Blake and Murphy have got themselves back into it. They're doing better. I think they're just starting to get things right here. It took them a while to get themselves in this match, but fortunately enough for them, they haven't lost it and have had enough time to work their way back into it. Had enough time just to iron out some of the kinks here and get things right. And can they finish off DIY? Ciampa has a chance right now to go for a tag. Will he stay in here? No. The tag has been made. Gargano's back in. What can he do? A win here is a must. DIY cannot afford to go into a huge clash with the Authors of Pain without a win. They need to beat Blake and Murphy here. But Blake and Murphy are showing a lot of fight, a lot of resistance here. They're not giving it up easily. Like them or hate them, you got to be impressed here. As now Murphy up top, went for the elbow, missed out. Attempted kick, misses out again as the single leg takedown there by Murphy. And an excellent wrestler is Murphy. Lots of talent there. He can really go toe-to-toe with the best. And he's showing it here tonight. He's been very impressive, as has Blake. Gotta like this tag team right now in Blake and Murphy. As now the cover could be in here as no Blake. Can't quite get him as Gargano kicks out. DIY not giving it up yet. As now Blake sets his sights on Gargano, wants to put him away, but now the Enziguri jumping up and nailing him on the side of the head. Gargano now puts him in the corner. Trouble here for Blake. You can see Murphy, he's just a little tight at the moment, and once again spikes him in that second turnbuckle pad, and Gargano may be about to put him away here. Is this going to be it? No, hang on, Ellering's distracting Johnny. He's going to turn around as Blake now has him up. Oh, wow, what a slam. And now this may be it for Gargano and DIY. Has he got anything left? Yes, he does. He kicks out. Murphy was there just in case, but unrequired as now Blake wants him up and now thought about going over the top of the rope, perhaps a wrist. He doesn't want to take us now. Uh-oh. He's been taken off his feet thanks to Gargano. Perhaps a mistake has been made. And now Gargano looks to put him away. And now has this chokehold. And it's going to be over, is it? Has he got enough? No, he has to tap out. DIY survived this huge clash with Blake and Murphy. It was tough. They had to grind it out, but they got the victory. And now they can prepare for the Authors of Pain at TakeOver 5. What a win here tonight by DIY. It wasn't the win they perhaps would have been hoping for, an easy clash, but it's a tough, grinded out victory. And that's, I think, what exactly they're going to need at TakeOver. They're going to need to step it up to a new gear, though. They weren't at their best, but they were still good. Good enough tonight to pick up the win. And, oh, wait a second! From behind! Akam and Razar! The Authors of Pain from behind, attacking DIY. Just nailing them and laying them out here. This is just not right. They've taken them out here just before TakeOver. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for in today's episode of NXT. Don't forget, TakeOver is coming this weekend. Keep an eye out for it on BrendenPlayz. Head over to the website, BrendenPlayz.com, for all of your Universe Mode coverage. Check out the Money in the Bank card that is posted up there right now. Make sure you join the forum at BrendenPlayz.com. We'll be discussing the upcoming WrestleMania event live on BrendenPlayz, 100% free to join as well. And also check out in the description down below my second channel. Give it a look and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you haven't already, leave a like on this episode, subscribe to see more episodes, and I will see you all at the NXT Takeover 5 special event.